Welcome back to the Revenge Chronicles, the place where real stories of betrayal, heartbreak, and shocking revenge come to life. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because you don't want to miss what happens next in today's story. Now, listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you is something I never imagined could happen in my own family. I can't believe I'm even saying this out loud, but my own brother tried to steal my entire life. Every achievement I worked my ass off for, every late night, every sacrifice, he claimed as his own, and the worst part? Everyone believed him. I'm still shaking thinking about how close I came to losing everything because someone I trusted more than anyone else in the world decided to betray me. Tell me, would you have kept quiet if your own blood tried to erase your accomplishments? Or would you fight back the only way you could? It all started a few years ago, when I landed what I thought was my dream job at a mid-sized tech company in Chicago. I was fresh out of college, full of energy, and completely unaware of how toxic family dynamics could spill into professional life. My brother, Jason, was older than me by 4 years, and we had always had this weird mix of rivalry and camaraderie. Growing up, he was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong in my parents' eyes. I, on the other hand, was the quiet one, the one who studied hard and worked behind the scenes, never really asking for recognition. I thought we were close, but I didn't realize how far he was willing to go to stay in the spotlight. From day one at this new company, I poured myself into my work. I stayed late, took on extra projects, and tried to prove myself in a way I never had to before. One of my first major projects was a software upgrade that, if successful, would land the company a huge contract with a local healthcare provider. I worked on this project for months, coding, debugging, and coordinating with our small team. I thought it would be the perfect way to establish myself, to finally make my mark. But when the presentation day came, Jason somehow found a way to be there. He wasn't even supposed to be involved. He was just visiting me at the office. But during the client meeting, he spoke up, made small comments, and subtly took credit for the work I had done. At first, I thought I was imagining things. Maybe I was being paranoid. But the client's praise was directed at him, not me. My manager even congratulated Jason for the amazing work, and I sat there, stunned, not knowing whether to confront him or just keep my head down. I should have said something immediately, but I didn't. I froze. And that, I think, was my biggest mistake. Things got worse over the next few months. Every time I made progress or had a win, Jason would find some way to insert himself into it. Promotions, awards, even recognition in company newsletters, he somehow ended up at the center of it. And every time I tried to speak up, my parents or coworkers brushed me off, saying, "Oh, you know Jason, he's always been outgoing. He just has a way of getting attention." It hurt so much because I knew the truth. I knew exactly who had done the work. But proving it? That was another story. By this point, I started doubting myself. Maybe I really was invisible. Maybe I really wasn't as talented or capable as I thought. But deep down, I knew that wasn't true. I just had to find a way to expose him without burning bridges with everyone else. But life has this cruel sense of timing, and it wasn't just about the office anymore. Jason's betrayal started spilling into family events too. He would tell our relatives about my supposed successes, subtly rewriting the story to make himself the hero. My own mother even started asking me how I felt about Jason doing so well. I wanted to scream at her, tell her that he was stealing my life, but I just smiled and said, "I'm happy for him," because I didn't know what else to do. Then came the project that would change everything. It was a high-stakes contract worth 6 figures, and I was put in charge of the coding and client presentations. I did everything, from designing the system architecture to presenting the final demo. And as expected, Jason found a way to be part of it. He showed up at meetings, took notes, and somehow convinced everyone that he had been my partner on the project from day one. He even posted on LinkedIn about our team's success, tagging himself in photos I hadn't even agreed to be in. I was furious, but I also knew I couldn't lash out blindly. This was my career on the line. And that's when I decided to take a more strategic approach. I started documenting everything. Emails, code versions, project notes, screenshots, even timestamps of when tasks were completed. Every piece of evidence that proved the work was mine, I meticulously saved. I began to prepare for the day I would confront him, not just to prove to him that I wasn't invisible, but to make sure everyone else finally saw the truth. But before I could make my move, Jason did something that pushed me over the edge. He submitted my work for a prestigious company award without telling me. When I found out, I was beyond shocked. Not only was he taking credit at the office, but now he was doing it publicly. And here's the thing, he even convinced a few of our mutual friends to back him up. I remember sitting at my desk late at night, staring at the award application that had my name nowhere to be found, thinking, is this what it's going to be like forever? Am I just going to watch my life be stolen from me? That's when I knew I couldn't wait any longer. I had to confront him. I called him over to my apartment one Friday evening. When he arrived, he was smirking like he already knew he had me cornered. I took a deep breath and I started pulling out the evidence. Emails, project timelines, screenshots. I laid everything out on the table in front of him. Jason, I said, my voice shaking but determined, do you see all this? Every project, every line of code, every presentation, it's mine. You can't keep doing this. He laughed. Not a nervous laugh, not a guilty laugh, but a full-on arrogant laugh like he thought I was being dramatic. Come on, don't be ridiculous, he said. Everyone knows I'm the one who makes things happen. You're just lucky to have me around. That was the moment I realized this wasn't just about credit. This was about respect, about recognition, about finally standing up for myself. And I wasn't going to let him get away with it. So that's the situation I was in, and I had to make a choice. Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my shoes. Would you have confronted him publicly? Taken it to the company? Or just let it slide and try to prove yourself in other ways? I decided to escalate things professionally. I scheduled a meeting with my manager and brought all the evidence. I walked in, feeling my heart pound like crazy, and I explained everything, project by project, email by email. I expected some pushback because Jason was charming and persuasive, but my manager was shocked. She asked me for more documentation, and I handed it over without hesitation. That week, HR conducted an internal review. Every detail I had recorded was verified, and the results were undeniable. The project was mine. The credit that had been falsely given to Jason was officially transferred to me. The award nomination? They corrected it, and I received it properly. The aftermath was surreal. Jason tried to play it off as if nothing had happened, but the damage was done. Our colleagues stopped giving him the same blind admiration. Some friends and relatives apologized for believing him, and my parents finally understood the situation. It was bittersweet because, honestly, some of the trust one had in him was gone forever. But there was also this relief, this sense of vindication that I had finally gotten what I deserved. Looking back, the hardest part wasn't proving I did the work. It was navigating the emotional betrayal, the feeling that someone I loved and trusted could try to erase my life. But it taught me something invaluable. Documentation matters, confidence matters, and standing up for yourself is non-negotiable. If I had kept quiet, I would have lost more than just recognition. I would have lost my own sense of self-worth. So here's the takeaway. Don't let anyone, even family, diminish your achievements. Don't let someone else write your story for you. And most importantly, believe in yourself, because if you don't, no one else will do it for you. If you were on my side through all of this, like this video, subscribe for more stories like this, because trust me, I have plenty more where this came from. Share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section. I want to hear how you would have handled a brother like mine. I'll see you all in the next story.